Come on. Come on. Come on up. Look, there's a table right here. There's extra stuff in it for you. I appreciate this. Thank you. Come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Right here. Those of you who just walked in the back, right up here. Right up here. Table right here. Student affairs. Come on up. As you are coming in, please be seated right here in the front. Come on in, right here.
Yeah. So I think we should be live now in Facebook too.
Right now?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Like, people are going to be coming up and getting food.
What about it? It's supposed to be started 5 minutes ago. How can I see if we are live?
On YouTube? Or Facebook? We're not live on Facebook. State of the University of Texas.
Where's Chief Dooley? Chief Dooley, I need your hat. I'm directing traffic. All of you who just walked in the back, there's an extra piece of cake for you if you come up to the front. I've got some seats right here. Right here.
Alright, and we are live. In 2 seconds.
So now how can we check?
All right, you may see some seats right here.
Go on to
Frank, you can't hide, Frank. You can't, Chris, this can tell you can't hide either. Lying staff, you can't hide either. Oh, Bob, you don't get this all the way back there. I have a seat for you right here. Two-minute warning if you'd like to grab something to eat.
if you're a high tech.
because I do think it's I also want to thank you for finding your way here today. Our move-in days, the week of welcome, new faculty orientation, everywhere I went, there was a flurry of positive activity that shed a good light on our campus and on our community. The only potential mishap was actually when Chief Dooley lent me his cap and let me direct traffic for a while. Thankfully, there were no accidents. Is that me with that hat? Chief, why don't you just, we'll talk about, I'll buy one for myself. Okay, thanks, appreciate that. You'll also notice that the setup this afternoon is a bit different. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've heard a great deal about the lack of staff recognition at the university. So as a result, last spring, I charged a group of staff known as the President's Recognition of Staff Employees Committee, PRIZE, to create recognition opportunities for our staff. And so following my remarks, we will host our first staff faculty appreciation event. We have, I believe, over 300 plus people that have RSVP to attend, and as you can see, we're pretty full today. If you are a member of the PRIZE committee, could you please stand? I know you're here somewhere. Thank you very much. So you will hear more in the coming months about the activities of that particular committee. We will also be recognizing at our winter/holiday reception this academic year years of service to the university. I'm guessing Jim Barber has already won that category, but I'm sorry, Phil? No? Not Phil? Not former President Smith? I'm yielding to Jim. You're yielding to Jim. Very good. I'd also like to introduce some very special guests. I don't know, is State Representative Dorinda Borer, has she arrived? Okay, well, when she comes in, we'll give her a shout out. My friend Paul Brody from Gateway Community College also sent his regards. I don't think he's able to be here with us. Older Michelle Soplizida of Ward 30. Was she able to be here? I guess not. Okay. And Lee Stumo, are you here? Okay, well, we'll give you all a round of applause anyway. It's all good. More cookies for me. My trainer's out here. We'll talk about that in a second. Joyce Saltman, are you here? Please stand. Alum and Professor Emeritus for Special Education. Dan Comingay, who is the new Director of Development for the New Haven Symphony Orchestra. Dan, welcome. And I'd like to recognize all of the members of the Alumni Association and thank them for their support. If you could please stand and be recognized as well. Thank you very much for being here. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce, as I do every year, my new trainer, Senior Matt Lockhart. As you know, every year I hire a senior from the exercise science program to help me. And every year, they do their job very well. I, on the other hand, have a diet problem. And so I have strict instructions. He has instructed me to tell you that if you catch me reaching for the cookies, slap my hand. Matt, are you here? Would you stand up, please? Doing a great job, and he's keeping me on my toes. Before I forget, we had a great turnout for our first ever week of welcome social media photo contest. Congratulations to Dr. Stephen Axon of Geography, Dr. Joe Malone in Recreation and Leisure Studies, Dr. Wang in Chemistry, and the student organization Theta Law, and student Paige Tetra. We have prizes for you in the back of the room, so make sure you pick them up before you leave. Let's give them a round of applause for a nice prize. And if you are new to the university, having arrived this summer or this fall, would you please stand? If you are a member of student government, or for that matter, a student, please stand. I know there's some of you here. Thank you for being here. Well, we have a lot to look forward to this year, and one big reason is because it's our 125th anniversary. We've come a long way since our founding in 1893, growing from a small two-year teacher training school into a comprehensive public university that we are today. As you know, the exact date of our anniversary was last Tuesday, September 11th, but due to the commemoration of 9/11, we held off the start of our celebrations a little. The theme of our anniversary celebration is building communities and empowering lives. And to me, that says so much about what has distinguished Southern as an institution during the last 125 years. Folks, our mission is a worthy one, and it is certainly something to celebrate. And so with that in mind, I invite all of you to join me at our campus-wide anniversary kickoff celebration, which will occur next Monday, September the 24th at noon in the academic quad in front of the building. It'll be an amazing experience, and it'll be a wonderful kickoff to our 125th anniversary celebration. If you are a member of the 125th anniversary committee, would you please stand? Because I know that you've done a lot of work. There will be a grand reunion during homecoming weekend in October, an anniversary gala in the spring, and a host of related events during the next 9 months. As you saw yesterday, we just learned that Doris Kearns Goodwin will be here in November. We're very excited about that. That is part of our 125th anniversary lecture series. And so you will see more events such as that. As we honor the past, and as we focus and showcase Southern of today, and focus on the future, it will certainly be an exciting 9 months. I hope you'll take the opportunity to participate in the many activities, and if you haven't received one, I know that you will. We have these pretty spiffy 125th anniversary pins, so they're on the tables. Please feel free to wear them proudly. If you'd like more, you can wear, and you have a tie. You know I don't like wearing ties. You can put an entire line of them down your tie. It's all good. Wear them, give them out. Give them to our friends in places like Central, Eastern, Western. Because we love them. We do. New Haven Register, we do. So please, please feel free to share and spread the word. And so to put you in the spirit, I want to share with you the first in a series of living history videos featuring an alumnus from every decade back to the 1930s. Here we go.
How do you feel about being maybe the oldest, certainly one of the oldest living alums of Southern Connecticut State University / New Haven State Teachers College?
That's great.
What year did you graduate from New Haven State?
1935.
1935. And why did you go there?
I went there because I wanted to further my education, and my folks could not afford to send me to a school So this was affordable.
How much did it cost to go to the United States?
Nothing.
Oh, it was free.
Free. It cost 33 cents a day, I think. But I used to go by trolley from Derby. It took an hour on the trolley every morning. I'd get up at 6 and get the trolley at 7 and then jog away to New Haven for an hour. But we had a lot of fun on the trolley. If we were lucky, there were some good-looking Yale boys. And so that was interesting. But we studied sometimes at the school to last all the way over and back.
How big was the school?
Oh, it was like an apartment house. It was, I'd say, 3 stories high. It was somebody's home, I think, at one time. Our gym was on the top floor, and God helped the students who were underneath there. I really enjoyed poetry and music, and I was always sorry that I didn't take up golf, because we got credit for it. My friends took up golf. We went bowling, horseback riding, tennis. We even had courses in etiquette. Most of us came from homes where the parents were foreign-born and their etiquette was entirely different than ours. And I remember that we had a class where the dean of women taught us how to introduce people one to the other, and which was very helpful because it gave us a format for how to behave socially. It was helpful.
And how many students were at the school at that time?
It goes to 100, you know.
So did you think they prepared you well to go out to teaching?
I do. I'm glad that I got in and that I did go there, and I think I got a good education. I was exposed to many things as I look back that I never would have had the opportunity to appreciate if I hadn't gone there.
Well, Chief Terrific. By the way, Sophie is 104 years old. Or 104 years young, I should say. She is good. And she is very proud of her roots at Southern and the education she received here. And I think that should be an inspiration to all of us. And throughout the course, as I mentioned, of the academic year, we will be rolling out a series of these types of videos to tell the Southern story. I have to tell you that everywhere I go, and I continue to visit in the community, the word on the street about Southern and what we are accomplishing is overwhelmingly positive. And I know we've struggled with our reputation at times in the past, but that is clearly turning. And I'm confident that this will assist us as we address our enrollment challenges and seek to bring in more private support to the university. So I want to thank each and every one of you for what you have done and what you will do to move Southern forward and help us achieve our goals. As I begin my 3rd year as president, I continue to be impressed by the talents and dedication of this community. So I hope you're all planning to stay right here after this address for our first staff and faculty appreciation event, where I'll thank as many of you as I can in person, and we will feed you well. I also, on a personal note, want to say thank you. My partner Bill and I have come to love New Haven. As you know, we've established roots here. We bought a home in New Haven, in the Morris Cove area. And people have asked several times, what's next? Well, I'll share more with what's next here at Southern, but for Bill and I, we hope Southern is what's next, and we hope, I hope, to lead the institution for years to certainly can't beat the students here. They're pretty terrific, if I must say so myself. And I'd like to think that you would agree. It says here applause, my dear. So please be patient because I'm going to talk at you now for a little bit because I have a lot to share with you. The next 9 months will be a time of celebration, and they also promise to be a time of progress for our institution. Here are some recent or forthcoming initiatives to look forward to. In June, we broke ground for the Obama Magnet University School on Farnham Avenue. This is signature partnership between Southern, the New Haven Public School System, and the community with multiple opportunities to investigate best practices, conduct research, prepare teachers and leaders, and promote educational innovations and learning in the early grades. The school is slated to open, this is a pretty aggressive timeline, next fall of 2019. And I already met some of the students, and I see Teresita's smile. I also see my CFO shaking his head, because I promised all of those fourth and fifth, or those second, third, and fourth graders that if they did well and committed to Southern Connecticut and actually came here as a student many years from now, they each get a $1,000 scholarship. So they're excited. Hey, look, you need to recruit whether they're in first grade or whether they're seniors in high school. So we're always recruiting. Our other new buildings are on the way. In the heart of campus, we're now in the design phase of the new home for the School of Health and Human Services. On the Fitch Street frontage, adjacent to Pell's Gym, design is also set to begin for a new home for the School of Business on Wintergreen Avenue. Gear Up New Haven, headed at Southern by Joy Fabiano, has been a critical example of how higher education can partner with local schools to ensure student achievement onto a pathway of lifelong learning. After 7 years, our Gear Up students have now graduated high school, and hundreds are attending colleges and universities. More than 150 of those students throughout the state chose Southern. So many of them took up to 15 credits before they even arrived and are walking in the door with those credits ready to go. I don't know if Joy is here, but I'd really like to give that team a round of applause and thank them for their good work. Our transatlantic partner, Liverpool John Moores University, with them, Southern has formed a consortium with institutions in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Shanghai, China, to promote international student exchange, particularly at the graduate level. We have a pending joint graduate program in coastal resilience with Liverpool John Moores, the first of a portfolio of joint degrees that will make our collaboration unique in American higher education. We've just launched our third doctoral program, a professional doctorate in social work. That is the first of its kind in New England and one of only 11 programs in the United States. Due to the specialization now required for advanced employment and leadership roles in health and related fields, the social work program is expected to be a draw both locally and overseas, and I know that program is on its way. We also have a new portfolio of accelerated bachelor's and master's degrees that will allow students to complete both in 5 years. These programs are in athletic training, chemistry, cybersecurity, and therapeutic recreation, offering a time-saving, cost-effective path to a graduate degree. In another new academic initiative, we've started a pilot program offering classes at Gateway and Housatonic community colleges. These are free as long as students commit to Southern after completing their associate's degree. In essence, we're looking to support higher levels of degree attainment by increasing support for transfer students, removing the barriers of location, and reducing the financial impact as they pursue their studies. It's another way put our mission of access and social justice into practice. Our sustainability efforts have earned national attention, and if you walk down Farnham to Lot 9, you'll see the first of more than 3,000 solar panels being installed on the west side of campus. With an annual generation capacity of more than 1 million kilowatts, this renewable energy project will save us significant dollars in electricity purchases. And finally, thanks to the collaborative efforts between academic and student affairs, our new academic advising program has launched with Dr. Helen Martz as the Faculty Director of Undergraduate Advising. Ms. Helen here. There she is, in the back. Thank you, Helen. This will serve as a crucial component of our efforts to engage students academically and support them as they progress toward a degree. I'd like to thank the faculty in the School of Business and STEM departments for being a part of our first phase of implementation. The new advising model has led to 2 important additional developments. We have now established a standalone focus on the career development and preparation of our students. This summer, we welcomed Kelvin Rutledge as the Director of the new Office of Career and Professional Development. Kelvin, are you here? Kelvin will help us to build this office further, and this office will serve as our centralized conduit for career education, internships, and experiential learning. The office joins the Academic Success Center, new student and sophomore programs, the first year experience, and the Southern Success Center on the 3rd floor of Buellton. So that's a snapshot of the latest developments, and so here are some of the highlights from across the divisions. We will have a major grant announcement in the next several weeks that will be very, very exciting. I still wanted to share it with you today, but I can't. But it'll be exciting, trust me. With that in mind, the Office of Sponsored Programs and Research has seen an exciting amount of activity in the past year, with a 21% increase in proposal submissions and a doubling of its funding yield from 21% to 44%. And the results are showing, with a number of recent major grants, including $340,000 from the National Institutes of Health for Dr. Awakia. How do you pronounce that? That's what I said. Is Dr.? She's teaching. She's teaching. Well, let's give her a round of applause anyway. And I believe, okay, Dr. Lumanica, yes, in public health for her analysis of the growing epidemic of opioid addiction. We also have our psychology colleagues, Dr. Julia Irwin and Dr. Kelly Stiver, who also were awarded more than $300,000 each for their respective studies. I don't know if they're here, but let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations. Are you here? Well done. I'm also very pleased to announce that we have a new appointment to the Goodwin Endowed Chair in Special Education. Dr. Fred Volkmar, a specialist in autism and developmental disorders. Dr. Volkmar has been a member of the Yale faculty since 1982 and will be spending much of his time here supporting the expanding work of our Center for Excellence on Autism Spectrum Disorders. If we could welcome him. And as always, we want to thank the Stutzman Family Foundation, our university choir, led by Teresa Jem, had another memorable overseas tour, this time to Portugal, where the choir performed in Lisbon, Porto, and Albufeira. Teresa, are you here? That's all right. We'll give you an applause as well. Fabulous trip. I don't know if Walter is here, but I really want to give a shout out to Walter Stutzman. Foundation for their generosity. Thank you very, very much. And speaking of support, our development efforts received a boost this summer with the arrival of Michael Kingan as our new Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Michael brings a great deal of experience and expertise to this role and has already begun some positive restructuring in the advancement area. Michael, could you please stand? We have a solid foundation to build on. Our endowment has reached almost $30 million as of June 30th, and we were able to award $646,000 in scholarship support. We have helped, you have all helped the cause. Our 2018 Giving Day raised almost $55,000. That's $20,000 more than the previous year. And last year, faculty and staff alone raised $142,618 for Southern and its students. Given the positive community vibes about Southern that I mentioned earlier, I believe that there are new sources of private and corporate funding that we can engage. I want to thank all of you for your support of the institution in helping us to achieve those financial goals. And there will be more to come, so we can applaud that. So, switching gears. Lots been going on in the world of information technology. As part of the joint effort between IT and our communications and marketing team, the university website is in the process of being redesigned and replaced. The new website will be released this fall and will be a vast improvement over our old site with a modern and engaged interface. This past December, we were first among our peers to move the Banner ERP system to the cloud. We've begun upgrading it to the latest version, which will improve the user experience and provide a more modern software environment. An additional 10 learning spaces on campus have been upgraded with new technology as part of the ongoing effort to provide a modern and compelling teaching learning environment. To date, more than 70 academic spaces have been enhanced with new technology over the past several years. The replacement of the entire wireless infrastructure has been completed, and expansion of wireless coverage to open areas such as the academic quad and athletic fields is now underway. Our School of Business and their partnership with Watson Analytics continues to blossom. 42 interns were trained and placed in organizations to provide data analysis and reports to employers, and another 13 will be placed next spring. The goal is to expand this program and to partner with IBM's University Relations in a University Center for Data Analytics. Our business school also is now the only one in the state to offer Treasury Management, a non-credit program developed to deliver the training for students and finance professionals to sit for the exam to qualify as a certified Treasury professional. Thank you, School of Business. Well done. The Environmental Protection Agency has recognized Southern for our commitment to sustainable food management practices. 45 tons of food scraps from Con Hall were converted into renewable energy and landscape projects through a partnership with Quantum Biopower. More than 27,000 meals have been donated to the local soup kitchen since 2016. Both of those numbers are very impressive, and my congratulations to the team. And finally, we had another strong year in athletics. 5 conference championships, 10 conference athletes of the year, 2 conference coaches of the year, 13 All-Americans, and 9 teams involved in NCAA championship competition, including volleyball for the first time ever. We should never forget that our student athletes are students first, and they did us proud, finishing the academic year with a combined grade point average of 3.06. Other academic accomplishments included 403 of our students selected to the NE10 Conference Commissioners Honor Roll and 14 NE10 all academic team selections. I'd like to congratulate Jay and his team of coaches for their excellent and congratulate our student athletes. So now I get to talk to you about enrollment. Some realities, and it's really not all that bad. So let's take a first look. As of our census day, which is today, we are actually doing a bit better in headcount than we anticipated, boosted in part by 232 students from the culmination of the 7-year statewide Gear Up program. We exceeded our new freshman enrollment goal, welcoming over 1,550 new owls, and the Gear Up students drawn from Waterbury and East Hartford, as well as New Haven, meet or exceed our admissions standards and offer great promise to achieve Southern degrees. It's interesting to note that the face of Southern is changing. This year, 52% of the entering class are students of color. And while we often highlight the number of first-generation students that we enroll, it's also heartwarming to see the growing number of legacies, students whose parents, even grandparents, also lived and studied here. The fact that parents are sending their children back to their alma mater speaks volumes about the quality of Southern education and the welcoming nature of our community. I'd like to congratulate Teresita and her team in admissions for their excellent work. Thank you very much. I will also add that we enrolled more than 960 full and part-time transfers who make up 40% of our new undergraduate student enrollment. To provide improved advisement for prospective and new transfers, we will soon launch a transfer student services office in Winter Creek with an additional presence on our area community college campuses. So in summary, even with our graduate numbers continuing to lag, we will likely finish at just over 10,000 students in headcount, when we have anticipated being shy of that mark. That's good news for our budget, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. I have to add that we are not alone in these trends. Undergraduate enrollment is flat across the system, and graduate numbers are down at all of our sister institutions. Teresita and her team, working with a range of campus academic and administrative partners, are continuing to develop new initiatives to help us stay competitive in enrollment. For example, we've completed the implementation of the university's first constituent relationship management system, TargetX. It offers personalized, strategically timed, automated communications to prospective students. We've also automated several financial aid processes for the 2018-19 academic year. These will help provide new students with earlier award letters and give timely notification for returning students supporting retention. And we'll soon launch our first annual scheduling venture, which will include publishing academic roadmaps to support education planning, and most importantly, may be viewable for the full academic year, scheduling for 2019-2020. Of course, we can also use your help. At the table, staffed by our admissions team in the lobby outside the ballroom, you'll find invitations to the graduate and undergraduate open houses on October 4th and 7th, respectively. I'd ask you to take them and share them and talk up the value of a Southern education. There'll also be an open house volunteer sign-up list. If you can lend your time, please do so. Every additional student makes a difference. And remember that we are all enrollment managers in some way. Everything we do must be focused on the recruitment, retention, and successful completion of our students. Again, I don't think that they're on the desk. Are they out in the... So as you leave today, please, we invite you to pick up one of those announcements on our open houses and share them with others. If you know a lot of folks, take a lot of them. We have plenty. The more you hand out, the more students we can introduce to the university, the better. I would ask everyone in this room, there are about 300 people in this room, if everyone in this room commits to taking one of those cards and giving them to a student, a potential student, that's 300 invitations that otherwise they have not gotten out there. So we ask you to be committed to doing that and to help us in this effort. In terms of graduate studies, while our undergraduate enrollment is holding steady, the same cannot be said for graduate studies. Not too long ago, we had one of the largest graduate schools in New England, and we were leaders in graduate education in the Connecticut State College and University system. Times have changed. Our graduate programs have seen a steady decline of more than 40% in the last 10 to 15 years. The drop-off is not only in applications, but perhaps more troubling, the drop-off is in the retention of our graduate students that do enroll. This is very unusual. So not only are we not recruiting graduate students, we're not keeping the ones we have. So clearly, serious consideration and action are called for if we are to retain a comprehensive portfolio of graduate degree programs. We must be open to change. We must offer our programming at times and in formats that meet the needs of our working professionals we serve. Too many times, I have heard Southern alums share with me that they will be attending Albertus or Sacred Heart because their programs, though more expensive, are more flexible and meet the demands of their lives. Too many of our programs are geared toward the full-time student during a time in which students are unable to pursue a graduate education full-time. As I noted earlier, graduate enrollment is struggling system-wide, though our institution is more acute. We're winning, but not winning. We have the largest decline in graduate education in the entire system. At a council of presidents meeting recently, we discussed this issue with system leaders. Among the points raised was the need for us to be able to offer quality graduate assistantships that pay tuition and offer stipends. This is an area where we seriously lag behind competing private institutions. Now, not all is bleak. As I stated in my recent letter about graduate enrollment, some of our offerings are among the best and retain strong enrollments in areas of high workforce need. Several programs have reported increases in admissions since last fall, including psychology, women's studies, information and library science, and counseling and school psychology. The School of Business has 31 full-time MBA students for the fall. This program is an online program, the largest cohort yet in this specialized program. My congratulations to the School of Business. With this continued level of commitment, I'm optimistic that we can collectively reach our objectives and restore Southern's leadership role in graduate education. On that note, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jose Galvin, who has joined us in the role of Interim Dean of the School of Graduate and Professional Studies, while a nationwide search continues for a permanent appointment. Dr. Galvin brings many strong professional traits to his new role, among them proven expertise in enrollment management at the graduate level. His experience and insights will be invaluable as we look to revitalize and grow our graduate offerings. Jose, are you here? There he is. And if you are interested in pursuing graduate work, Jose's right there in the corner. Now I need to talk about the budget. I know everyone's like, can we just have lunch now? As you know, enrollment plays a key role in determining our bottom line, and while our numbers appear to be slightly better than anticipated, we're not yet looking at the revenues and flexibility that we would need to make quantum leaps forward. So cautious, frugal spending, and an extension of the hiring freeze will continue for the foreseeable future. Thankfully, due to efficiencies and prudent fiscal management, we were able to offset anticipated deficits in the last 2 years without drawing down our reserves. In fact, we ended 2017-18 with a modest surplus. So we enter the year with our reserves intact, and we will see what develops. And for the last 2 years, I have shared with you that our budget was projected to be in deficit. My first year here, we projected a $2 million deficit. Last year, we projected a $1.5 million deficit, and we will be pulling those dollars from our reserves. We did not have to do that. In fact, because we had additional surpluses at the end of both of those years, we were able to bank that to cover any shortfalls we would have this year. I really want to thank our CFO, Mark, and his team for an extraordinary job managing a very, very difficult budget. Mark, thank you very, very much to you and the team. Now, I have been asked, well, Joe, you know, for decades we keep hearing the sky is falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. And look at that. You found dollars. It all worked out, didn't it? Yes. But we paid a heavy price for that. A number of you would say, I don't have any administrative assistants. We've seen resources cut. We have 80 vacancies on the administration side of the house. We have staff that are working overtime to support our students. In fact, we had some staff here last night until midnight working on some things in enrollment management. People are exhausted. That's the price we pay. So I ask us to be very careful. On the faculty side, I will share with you that last year we hired 31 new faculty. That's great. But as we go into next year, that number gets cut almost in half. We will be looking to hire 18 new faculty. I share that with you because I asked us not to get comfortable and assume that everything is okay because we have worked hard to make cuts. I am grateful to everyone for their hard work. I am grateful to everyone for rolling up their sleeves. And I know it's been hard and I know it's been difficult. But know that we will continue to work as hard as we can in trying to maintain a balanced budget. But it has come at a cost. And I want to acknowledge that, and I want you to know that I know that it has come at a cost. And we will do our very best to try to continue to overcome those challenges. A lot of what will happen with our budget moving forward will really depend on what happens after the election. There will be a new state leadership in Hartford. I'm not anticipating that there will be any immediate changes in leadership in the Board of Regents or the system office. It's unlikely that the system will be the first item on a new governor's agenda. What I would advise everyone, however, is to let matters in Hartford take care of themselves, though you should exercise your right to vote and encourage students to vote. We have many things at Southern that we need to address, and we need our full concentration and commitment right here on campus. I'll worry about Hartford and navigate that. I will ask for your help and for your support in fighting the good fight in Hartford, but your energy needs to be here with the 10,000 plus students we have here in Southern Connecticut. When I left Linden, a faculty member had stood up a few years ago and said, as I was talking about the gloom and doom scenario of the budget, a longtime faculty member stood up and said, Joe, don't worry about any of this. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do anything. You see, we hear this all the time. The state's going to bail us out. And I kept telling folks, well, if we don't make X changes, we tried it before and it didn't work doesn't mean we can't give it another shot, or that we can't try some new things to distinguish us between our other institutions. But I share that with you because I think it's important for you to understand where my mind is at as I lead the university, which ties into the vision of our institution moving forward. I want to take a few minutes to discuss the updated vision of the university. As we celebrate our 125th anniversary, I think it's essential that we use this occasion as a launching pad to aim high. Therefore, my vision is that Southern becomes the social justice university of Connecticut, while serving as the regional higher education institution of choice for students and community partners. That's a lot to accomplish, but I think that we have many of the parts, and most importantly, people in place to get there. Not this year, maybe not next year, but in the near future. So as we move forward, we'll adhere to our foundational values that are outlined in this sheet in front of you. And we will also focus the team on 5 priorities for the 2018-2019 academic year, each of which is aligned with the goals outlined in our university strategic plan. Elements also draw on the academic strategic plan that has been developed by our faculty, and they are to optimize enrollment, to rebuild graduate and professional studies, to reorganize and rebuild institutional advancement, to raise the university profile, and to position Southern as a social justice university. You can read more about these priorities and ways in which you can be helpful to advance them on the website noted at the bottom of the vision statement. But I just want to emphasize, for us to succeed, it has to be a team effort. So I'm asking you to fully participate in this process, sharing your ideas, thoughts, solutions. As you know, we are striving to be a social justice university. The other day, I was watching the commentator, Fareed Zakaria, on CNN, where he was talking about the tensions on college campuses. People are walking around on eggshells, worried about how what they say or post on social media will be perceived, and whatever there will be, and if there will be a backlash. It made me think about how we are preparing our students to be sensitive and courageous and strong enough to face challenges. And it reinforced to me that our social justice movement is both critical and timely. Another item on your seat is a card describing our commitment to social justice at Southern. Even though it is in print form here, I see this as a fluid document. I have had a lot of input already, and I'm sure there will be more. It's all good, because I want this to be a starter for the direction we want to go and the goals and priorities we want to achieve moving forward. Already, we've been making great strides. And I want to offer my thanks to the members of the President's Commission for Social Justice as they successfully launched 3 new initiatives last year. The inaugural social justice grants, a round of which will be available this fall, the Top AL Social Justice Awards, and the Campus Climate Survey. If members of the President's Commission on Social Justice are here, if you could please stand. I'd like to thank them for their work. The reason for the development of this card is simple. A number of members of our community said, well, what does it mean to be a social justice university? What does that mean for me? Whether I work in the residence halls, whether I work in financial aid, whether I work in the business office, whether I'm the president of the university. And so my hope is that this will give you some direction, some guidance, some explanation, and that you will join me in trying to ensure that every student and person here is treated with dignity, respect, kindness, compassion, and civility. You should know that we have a series of efforts that are underway regarding social justice. In an effort to extend our community understanding of social justice, we will continue to engage in conversations across campus throughout the year, throughout the year to help us explore how we live our valued commitment, how these commitments appear in our decisions and interactions, and how they are reflected in our programs. Our Minority Recruitment and Retention Committee has been actively assisting our Office of Diversity and Equity in our efforts to build a more diverse campus workforce. The Faculty Senate is launching a task force to inventory the curriculum for inclusion of content and social justice and human diversity. I'm grateful to Dr. David Pettigrew for leading this important endeavor. David, I don't know if you're here, but I want to thank the Faculty Senate for their work there. I also want to express my appreciation to the Office of Faculty Development, led by Michelle Vanacore, for their efforts to promote and support a deeper understanding of racial justice, including an engaging Teacher Academy last May. The Faculty Development Grant has led to an informal working group entitled the Racial Justice Pedagogy Project, which is open to all faculty. I'm excited by the ways these initiatives have been provided. Now, a tradition at Southern, it wouldn't be the fall semester without Social Justice Month. The call for programs went out last week, and I hope that you will participate. I'm thrilled to announce the confirmation of David Hogg as a premier event of the month. David is a survivor of the high school shooting in Parkland, Florida last February, and a gap year before starting college next fall. He is spending his time motivating young people, and he will be joining us. And additional programs that we have planned focus on food and poverty, and food insecurity, understanding the refugee experience, and I could go on and on. But if the members, if all of those folks from the Minority Recruitment Retention Committee and the Faculty Senate, and Michelle, if you could all please stand, we'd like to give you a round of applause. I want to thank you. I also want to thank everyone who completed the campus climate survey. We had approximately 34% of the faculty and staff and 13% of students completing it. A large and rich set of data were gathered for analysis by Dr. Barbara Cook and 2 teams of faculty last spring. Overall, the results are positive and reaffirming of Southern as a diverse and inclusive campus community. Responses indicate faculty and staff are likely to have a positive perception of our institution and their work environment. Moreover, they are likely to recommend Southern to their friends. As we would expect, there are members of the community who did not express such positive experiences, and there are areas where specific populations have different experiences than their peers. We can definitely do better in terms of our campus climate. A report of the results will be available in early October. The Campus Climate Survey team will visit many of the leadership groups across campus to share the results. Additionally, there will be an open forum as part of Social Justice Month. I'd like to thank the members of the Campus Climate Survey team for all of their hard work, and Barbara, in particular, I'd like to thank you and Tracy Tyree. If you could please stand again. Thank you very much for your hard work. There's a lot of good work. All right. I know. I've been talking for a very, very long time, and we're almost there, I promise. But we're going to end on an upbeat note. You may recall that before my arrival, Simpson Scarborough, a leading higher education marketing research firm, was hired to conduct a comprehensive brand identity research project a couple of years ago. Close to 2,000 people were surveyed, and the information collected was analyzed and reported back to you through our campus forums and more intimate thinking groups. To be fair, I don't think any of us were overwhelmingly surprised by the results, but it did give us a number of key takeaways to build on. Our students are inspired because of their close faculty relationships. They're connected thanks to our dynamic location and thoughtful on and off-campus partnerships. They're driven to succeed and take advantage of their opportunities that come from learning at a smaller university. And they're daring because they're willing to stand up for themselves and do what they believe is right. For prospective students in South Central New England and in the tri-state area, we can and should be a destination of choice. We have a beautiful campus, enviable new science and learning facilities, unique opportunities for student research. We could go on and on. As a student in 2018, where else in Connecticut would you honestly want to be? I asked our communications team to take the Simpson-Scarborough findings and develop them into a branding campaign. So, this is the start of a campaign that will continue to grow and be fluid. And with that, we'd like to show you our first campaign video.
When you walk across campus, you can feel it. There's an energy, a certain buzz. It's excitement, a growing pride. There's a rising sense of community. We're kinder, more open, and more committed to serving one another. With a vision of dignity, respect, kindness, compassion, and civility at the heart of all we do, we are inspired by our president, who is walking the talk. Faculty are actively engaged in scholarship, research, and other creative activities. They are committed to personalized teaching and learning. Students are adding their voices to trending national conversations. Our campus is alive with curiosity, research, intellectual conversations, and hard work. Our students are channeling their creative energies to enrich communities both on and off campus. They're making a name for themselves through internships and fieldwork in Greater New Haven and beyond. We empower students to succeed in a world that demands more from them every day. With a commitment to diversity, access, and inclusion, we inspire students and transform lives through in-demand degrees, innovative partnerships, practical learning experiences, and community engagement. We are daring, connected, inspired, driven. Expect more, be more, Southern.
For providing the voiceover. She was the voice of Southern. Thank you, Jessica. And so just to reiterate, our students expect more out of life, and they come to Southern to get it. Because Southern, in many positive ways, may be more than they expected, they often get more than they bargained for. So many times, students say to me, you know, Southern wasn't my first choice. In fact, the data has shown us that Southern is usually a student's third choice. And yet, student after student says to me, I came here, I didn't think I'd love it, I'm staying. And so I know that we are doing something right. We just need to get our students to come here first and experience Southern, because they will expect more. We hope that they will be more. We hope that they will be proud with Southern. And so these are the words that will carve out part of our identity moving forward in our branding campaign, in our recruitment and marketing and fundraising. You probably already saw some of these on billboards. And by the way, if you drove through Westville, you saw the new Southern Connecticut State University banners along the road in Westville. I tried to get them downtown by the Yale buildings. That was a bit more challenging. But the more exposure we can have, the better. And so, I would like to finally give you a sneak peek of our latest TV ad.
Hi, my name is Destiny Coward, and I'm a chemistry major. I am on the track and field team, and we have a short commercial for you. It takes a lot to be a national champion. Technique, timing, strength, practice, practice, practice. A great coach and a little bit of luck. At Southern, I can excel as an athlete and prepare for life after college. My professors inspire me by their love for what they do, and my teammates support me like my family. Here, I have everything I need to be a winner. Expect more, be more Southern.
So you can learn more about the campaign on the webpage, but when you leave today, we have for you some coffee mugs. You can select the characteristic that best defines you as a reminder of your impact to our students. I am driven, I am inspired, I am connected, I am daring. Also, you will, as you leave today, for those of you who are staying for the reception, I believe you will also receive a staff and 125th anniversary T-shirt that says Southern Family on the front and that has our logo on the back. And so, all I'm asking you to do is wear your shirt and bring your coffee mug to every Starbucks in the United States. Because we're proud to be Owls. We're proud of Southern. We're proud of our students. And I want you to know that I am grateful and proud of you. So thank you very much for sticking with me for a very long time. I am going to, I think I'm going to skip the question portion. I will be here for the next hour or so. So if you have a question, feel free to ask me. But in the meantime, I think it's time to just relax, to eat, to enjoy yourselves as a member of the team, and to appreciate one another. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the session.
Where's the plate?